Once again, it's time for Diamond Talk as we visit with the head coach of the Savage Storm baseball team, Zach Crabtree. And, Coach, your team last weekend went over to Arkansas. Why is it always so tough going over to Arkansas, it seems like? Ouachita Baptist was the opponent. You won the first game, but then lost two really close games in the last two.
Yeah, if someone can tell us what the answer is, we'll sure take it because we're having trouble figuring it out. But, yeah, we did not play very good on the trip. We won game one and had plenty of opportunities to win game two and really game three as well. And we just left some guys on base, and we didn't take care of the baseball defensively. We had as many errors as we've had all year, and it was a very disappointing week for us.
One thing about it, when you look at the scores, not just between Southeastern and their opponents, the games seem to be really close between everybody.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I've told people coming from junior college to the NCAA Division II level is the junior college level, the team with the most talent mostly wins, and convincingly. It's, if you're better, you're going to win 9-1, 8-2, something like that. And what I've found in a year and a half here is it really doesn't matter. Every game's going to be close, 6-4, 5-3, 2-1. So every game's, and I don't know why the answer is for that, but it seems to be every game is closely contested, and the team that makes the most mistakes ends up on the wrong side.
Maybe it's great for the fans, but not so good for the coaches when they're close like that because it's nerve-wracking. But could it be that the teams are just that even talent-wise?
I think that, and I think the guys are so much more mature here. They're older. A bunch of the guys have been to 2 years of junior college, and so maybe you don't make as many snowball effects. You don't make as many mistakes, and one mistake don't lead to another one like maybe as a guy right out of high school might. And so I think that, like I said, I think the teams from 1 to 12 here in our conference are really good, and there's not a whole lot of difference on a given day. Anybody can beat anybody.
I wanted to ask you about this one thing. I heard this story that the entire team went up to Little Rock and got to visit with Joseph. Tell me about that story.
Yeah, we all went to see Joseph on Saturday to see the Serta family and see Joseph. He was able to do some things that he hadn't been able to do. He can show grips of baseballs. He was a pitcher in high school, and so he could show you his grips on his changeup and his slider and stuff. And he had some interaction with some of our guys. It was really good for our guys to see him, and I think it was really good for Joseph to see our guys coming in and saying hello. And I know his family is very appreciative and excited that we stopped by.
My only question is, how did you fit all the guys into one room?
It was very tight. So we all got in when we first got there to see him, and then we kind of went out into the waiting room and went in a couple at a time, and then we got in for a picture with him at the end. But it was very tight. It was a smaller room. But the hospital there in Little Rock, MS, has done an outstanding job taking care of Joseph, and his parents have nothing but great things to say about the medical staff there at that hospital.
Well, that is really great that the entire team got to go up there and visit with him. Whose idea was that?
Well, I think it was just all of ours. If we could go back to see him, we will. We're hoping he gets transported here shortly to Houston, so it'll be closer to his home. But that was the first time we had a game back up there in Arkansas, and so we just thought we'd leave early and go by and see him and say hello to his family, just let him know that they're continuously in our prayers and our thoughts, and we'll know that that he hadn't been with us for 2 weeks, but he's still with us in our hearts, and we think about him nonstop. 39
strong, right?
Yes, sir. 39 strong.
Yeah, that's a good motto. Whoever came up with that. Well, you've got a big event coming up this weekend. You personally and the baseball, squad and the team and the organization have done a lot of work on the field. You're going to have a dedication ceremony and a field naming event coming up Saturday before the Saturday game. I think it's supposed to get underway about 12:30 Saturday afternoon. But tell us about the field. It looks completely different.
Well, we've done a lot of improvements, and it's been the work of a lot of people and generous donations from alumni and some local business people. But, Coach Matheny was here for 37 years, won a whole lot of baseball games, most of anybody in NCAA Division II. He led the program to quite a few World Series and a national championship. And so it's just rightly so, we named the ballpark after him. He did great things and did a whole lot of good stuff for a lot of young men that played baseball here and continues to have good relationships with them. And our program, he's very supportive, and we just think it's an honor to be able to do this for him and to give back a little bit of what he gave to the university and the baseball program for 37 years.
What's your favorite Coach Matheny story?
Oh, I don't know.
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them. I think if you said one, it'd be justice to all the other ones. So, I think I think the most best story I could say is longevity and what he did. Seeing, being successful and winning for so many years, and just staying in one place for 37 years is astounding and amazing. And it's just been an honor to follow him, and hopefully we can get the program back to where it once was.
That competitive spirit. He definitely had a competitive spirit, especially when he was younger. He was a little bit fiery.
Yes, sir. He was. He's always a spark plug, that's for sure. And I just think of some of his arguments with umpires stand out to me. And I would say probably the best thing was the 2000 national championship. Whenever at the second year at the NCAA Division II level, and take a bunch of Oklahoma kids and go win a national championship is pretty amazing.
Well, Coach Crabtree, good luck in the weekend series coming up with Henderson State. Now, have you decided for sure we've got a chance of rain? Like it seems like we've had every weekend. Is there going to be a change on the game schedule?
Yes, right now just talked to Coach Hooten, and we've decided to play a doubleheader on Friday starting at 1 o'clock, and there'll be a single 9 Saturday at 1 o'clock.
All right. Well, thank you, and good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll have another edition of Diamond Talk coming up next week.